Hi class. I'm gonna touch base on a couple questions from the lecture slide video. First, I want to talk about the quote from the second set of questions. It talked about how the problem in America isn't, how we think it's our ethnic diversity that's holding us down, but it really is the economic inequality. And I think, I kind of thought that's obvious because, I mean, if you look at where the failing schools are located, they are located in areas where there's very, very low income and poor families. And so, I mean, obviously, right there, and then the private schools in rich neighborhoods are, thriving and doing great all the time. So I mean, it's kind of obvious if you look at that, but it's we're not doing anything to improve it. So I mean, I guess it's not that obvious. But that quote reminded me of the Superman Waiting for Superman video that we watched, and it's we talked about in the discussions that there's a big problem with um, the people that actually care, like the parents and the families that are involved and the kids that want to go to school and stuff like that, they're moving out of these failing districts into private schools, or maybe they don't even have to move because in private schools you don't have to. Um, but anyways, we talked about that. That was a problem, and it's not helping this district stay afloat, and it's just making it worse because you're losing the people that do care and that are helping you out. So, I think it's awesome how Finland made no private schools and kind of put everyone on the same playing field because number one, it helps that problem out. Obviously, you can't move districts. There's no private schools. You're forced to go to where you are and in your district. Everyone's on the same playing field. Everyone starts off at the same level, and I think that's really neat and it's encouraging. It really is much more encouraging than um, going like having no choice but to go to this public school that's failing and having no resources or whatever. So that's very discouraging. um so I thought that was awesome about Finland's education. The second question on that set of questions was, how is reflection on Finland's education system um, make you feel about your education? And honestly, it kind of makes me sad. it I kind of feel like I got gypped or something. It's I mean, it was very stressful, and I could imagine if I just think that I could have had a lot cheaper and better education, and it just makes me sad because we're supposed to be, one of the best countries in the world and have the best, resources and whatever. But obviously we're not using them correctly because, I feel kind of gypped. I feel like I went to school and paid, the expectations to go to college, and even if you don't really know what you want to do, and over there they kind of in Finland they even said they kind of just focus on what the kids want, and not exactly, not just trying to get good test grades or whatever, but focusing on what's their passion, and it seems to make it very easy atmosphere to find your passion and pursue that. And um, I didn't really have that coming into college, and I just had, like, oh, you better go to college. It's just the expectation, and especially for me coming from Illinois, since our government was so corrupt and we, and whatever, that's a whole nother story. But I have, debt like crazy because Illinois doesn't have a agreements or whatever you call it with the surrounding states, the bordering states. So college for me is expensive anywhere I go, and even if I stayed in state, it's one of the most expensive in-state tuitions in the country. So I mean, I feel like it kind of I could have definitely got a better experience and maybe even a better education for a lot less if we had that kind of system. But um, yeah, that's my view on it, and I'd like to hear what you guys think.